Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. We're glad to have you here. Joining me today live and in studio is my good friend, Camelia Peterson. Hi, CJ. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great.
Good morning. Glad to have you here. Thanks so much for coming on the program today. We're glad to have Camelia. She's going to be in studio with us all morning. What have we done to deserve this? In Jefferson City. We're
Might
glad.
happen again next week. We'll see.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We appreciate that. We like that. If you're glad that Camelia is here, make sure that you give us a like on that stream over there if you're watching us on YouTube. And for those who are curious about the types of things that are going on behind the scenes today, we should be streaming live on Instagram. Hopefully, we're not having any technical issues over there, but we are working on implementing Instagram into the daily live stream. The show should be streaming over there fine. If it's not, hopefully, then we will get that added into the future. This morning at 7:09, just a few minutes, we're going to talk about the cancellation of James O'Keefe. Yeah, the knives are out for James O'Keefe. Camelia actually sent me this article today because what was it? What was the tweet that got your attention?
Oh my gosh, it's something about musical theater majors. Musical theater.
He says that the craziest elements of the Republican Party are musical theater majors. Failed musical theater majors, of which I take a resounding resemblance.
Saw that. I was like, what's in that, Austin?
We're all laughing over here this morning about that. Yes. So we're going to talk about the James O'Keefe cancellation that's happening today because apparently he's on paid leave from the Veritas Project. So that should be an interesting story. We'll talk about that this morning. Of course, the hit piece is out on the Daily Beast, and we'll talk about that a little bit too. Then at 7:20 this morning, after our first commercial break, we're going to talk to you about commuting for meetings as costly punishment. And also 10 ways to sound smarter at work by avoiding these 10 pretentious phases. Oh, yes. Yes, she loves this phrases and phraseology and vocabulary and
I
wordplay.
would never do that.
She's a very cunning linguist. We'll talk about that today at 7:22. It'll be a great show. And then at 7:35 this morning, Donald Trump getting squeezed from both left and right. Were you able to read this story about Donald Trump and kind of how he's like facing challenges from the right? I mean, I'm not.
And he was hitting at DeSantis again, and DeSantis came back and was like, some people out here talking smack and I'm doing work.
Somebody got reelected. We'll talk about that this morning at 7:35. It's going to be a great program. You don't want to miss that conversation. And then at 7:51, why I forgave my husband of 5 years after his 3-year affair. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, I think it's a good thing for her to do. Wives should always forgive their husbands, but husbands should. She's for the streets. Kind of
God, Kate.
drop him like it's hot. Drop him like it's hot. Just kidding. At 8 o'clock this morning, we'll talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. I guess apparently it's not his girlfriend is the latest news, the 19-year-old girl. But, I'm not going to miss an opportunity to turn her, chicken butt redder than her lipstick right now. So we'll talk about that, the age gaps in relationships, and, Megyn Kelly apparently blasting him for banging teenagers.
Really?
Yeah, Becky, she's become like a scold. She wants her conservative audience back because she lost it when she went over to, I don't know, was it NBC or CBS or some left wing network or something like that, and then her ratings tanked and they sent her off to the gulag, and now she's down with us denizens in podcast land.
Funny.
Yeah. All right, so we'll talk about that today, and also at 8:20 today. You're not going to want to miss it. Guess what we're doing? We're going to give a free giveaway. Hell yeah!
That's very cool.
Yeah, we've got an exciting new product that I made over at the AP for Liberty Shop store. You got to go check it out at apforlibertyshop.com. It's on the very tippity top of the front page. It's an LED light up mouse pad for epic gamers. It's a light up mouse pad of George Washington in the synthwave style, which is the style of the show, right? Like the kind of purple and pink and, kind of neon 80s style. So it says, if you want peace, prepare for war, which is not a direct quote of George Washington, but he did say something pretty much exactly like it. And it's a play on an old Latin phrase, sivi pacem parabellum, which, if you didn't know this, if you ever get 9mm, if you've ever bought 9mm ammo, it says 9mm parabellum, which means for war. So so sivi pacem parabellum. If you want peace, sivi pacem parabellum. Prepare for war. So the mouse pad says, if you want peace, prepare for war. And it's got an awesome picture of George Washington with a sick ass gun. And we're going to give away a free one today. So if you want to win that mouse pad, you're going to want to watch the show today and stick around and make sure you don't miss it, because if you miss it, because we're going to have a question, it's a little trivia question, and it's really easy. Oh, Camelia, don't give it away.
I do not know what the question
Oh,
is.
she doesn't know. I didn't tell her because I'm afraid she'd give it away. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So we're going to give away a free LED gamer mouse pad today. It lights up, plugs into your computer. It's totally awesome. It's a big one too, so you need a little bit of desk space there, but you can like put it under your keypad, your keyboard on top of it and everything as well. So if you want a chance to win a free awesome George Washington light up LED keypad, then make sure you come back today around 8:20 for a trivia question. And here's the thing. It's a code, right? The code is going to be entered in, and once one person enters it in, the first person who enters it in goes to the website and enters it in, and to buy it is going to be the person who gets it. So that's how it's going to be today. So if you want to win the free LED light up mouse pad, you have to get the code right, because you have to guess what the code is once I give you the clue, and then you have to rush over to the website, put it in your cart, put the item in your cart, go to checkout, type in the answer to the question as the code, and if you get it right, then you get the free mouse pad. It's so fun.
So really, they should probably like have the website brought up already.
Yes. Yeah. A clever little bitch. Oh, yes.
And they shouldn't risk leaving and coming back because, the clocks might be slightly off and they might miss
It's
it.
true.
So don't leave.
It's true. If you want to get the free awesome LED light up mouse pad, you're going to stick around. No, you don't have to order it first, Elizabeth. So here's the situation. So you will get it'll add the discount to the item in your cart. So what I would do is I would have the item in your cart sitting there ready to check out, ready to type in the discount code, which is going to be the answer to the question, and then try and check out. And the first person who does it gets it. That's just what it is. Somebody's going to win. So,
And they're going to have to tell us, or will you know? Can you see it?
I'll see it. I'll see somebody purchase it. So I'll know who it is. Right. By the end, I think, it'll be done by the end of the show, and then I'll, be able to announce the winner. All right. So
Cool.
It's going to be fun, right? We're going to have a good show today. And then at 8:35 a.m. today, we're going to have Daniella Pentsak on the show today.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're going to have her join us today at 8:30, live streaming interview with her to talk about Disney bowing to China. This has become a big problem with our culture and arts and media. Speaking of musical theater, major stuff, the way that Hollywood produces films and music these days is to not offend the communist Chinese.
Right.
It's a problem because it results in censorship. It results in dumbed down media. It results in propaganda. And we get worse movies, we get worse culture. The challenge is for us libertarians, Camellia, is that China is a much larger market than the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So if those capitalistic incentives exist, how do we sort of do an end run around that, or how do we sort of incentivize Hollywood, which is the jewel? It's kind of like the Silicon Valley, the media Silicon Valley in a way, before Silicon Valley was a thing. Right. And it's one of the jewels of American culture, of Hollywood. I think a lot of people say it's kind of a poopy jewel these days, but it's more in the rough than it is, refined.
Right.
So, but we'll talk about that with Daniella Pentsak today. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that today, as well as any of the topics that we're talking on the show today. You can send us a text message on the program at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. All right, let's hit the top of the show. Number one topic, James O'Keefe. The knives are out for James O'Keefe. I'm curious to see what you think about this story here. So we saw it because of the joke by some Bulwark staffer. These are like never.
Will Sommer.
These are never Trumpers
Yep.
who are just basically they collect money from Democrats to talk about Republicans,
Right. Exactly.
And he made the joke because apparently in this story, from what I'm reading, they're calling him like a failed musical. He spent money on his failed musical theater passions and dreams. I mean, I don't know what that exactly is all about, because
I've never heard that. I don't know.
I mean, frankly, maybe the guy was trying to write the next Hamilton, for all we know. But, what's wrong with musical theater? I thought the left was all about it. All of a sudden, the right wingers into musical theater, and they're like, oh my God, rah. But I mean, like, it's a little bit weird because the thing about the Never Trumpers is they're all a bunch of sissies. You know, like they're a bunch of like namby-pamby boys, you know what I'm talking about? And some of them are pedos. Remember that one guy who got busted for having contact with the underage kid and they had to fire him and stuff? Did you hear about this?
Well, what's the not? Oh, I'm thinking about the Lincoln Project.
Oh, that's right. That's what I'm thinking of. I thought they were all kind of the same
They
thing. The
are.
Bulwark and the
Yes.
Lincoln
Yeah.
Project, and they're all the same thing. But whenever you see any of these never Trumper guys and stuff like that, it's like as much as you may not like Trump, like you're better off with Trump
Oh,
than
yeah.
you are with the Bulwark or with the never Trumpers because they're all such a bunch of sissies and pansies, right? It's just such a joke. They're just such a joke. And what was one of the stories? Here's one of the main attacks in this one, which made me laugh so hard. One of the main attacks that they have against James O'Keefe is that he stole a sandwich from a pregnant woman. Stole a sandwich from a pregnant woman. Oh no! He stole a sandwich. Oh, screaming, running, no.
Maybe he figured that, that was her job, was to make the sandwich.
I don't care if you're 8 months pregnant woman. You get out there and you make me a sandwich. Well, it's funny because you know that's how they've gotten. That's how you know that they've got nothing on James O'Keefe because they have to say, oh, and remember, and one of the most important things is he stole a sandwich from a pregnant woman. Don't steal. There's no more sandwiches left in the world. So, this is my musical theater coming out. Do you hear the sandwich sing? They're singing the songs of hungry pregnant women.
So it makes me wonder, because how many staffers signed this memo that they put out? It was several.
Mhm.
But I don't know, how many total they have. Well, and one comment I saw, and I didn't know this either, said that the most surprising thing that they found in the article was that Veritas had a board.
Oh yeah. Well, so there's the real story. The real story is that James O'Keefe has been suspended with pay. Like he's
Mhm.
basically been given a paid vacation. And the accusations that the main accusation is that the way that he runs the place like a tyrant, which is okay. I mean, what are we really, trying to say here, right? That he's verbally abusive to staff members, things like that. These people would not have survived the 1950s Mad Men. These people would not have survived if it was 2 or 3 decades earlier. Like these employees, these Zoomer millennials and Zoomers, Camellia, they are softer than baby poop. They are softer than baby poop. They would never be able to survive. The reason why people like James O'Keefe have been able to claw themselves to the top of conservative media is because the quality of the work that they put out, which is it can't be overstated how like massive the stings are that James O'Keefe
Right.
engages in. The information that he gets from Pfizer. What was the sting that he did that it was like some young girl like going out with some Indian guy, and I made the joke that went viral about James O'Keefe. I'm like, if you're an ugly tech bro in Silicon Valley and you're dating and your date is a 10, that's not that's yeah, I tweeted it. I said, oh yeah, it was Twitter. And I said if you're an ugly Indian tech bro from Silicon Valley and you're on a date with a 10, that's not a girl. That's James O'Keefe.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care if James O'Keefe runs his organization like a tyrant. I don't care, if he uses money for musical theater dreams. You know what I mean? If the people, if the board has a problem with that and they're the ones who are in charge of it, I get it. If they,
Right.
if they want to say, hey, listen, you need to start focusing a little bit more on it. But I mean, at this point in time, it's like when you're as massive as James O'Keefe and you're doing James O'Keefe, you earn some leeway to be a bit of an a-hole. You earn a little bit of leeway to steal a sandwich from a pregnant woman if you paid for it.
Well, I don't know. Did he pay for it?
I'm guessing he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll tell you, I went out to to dinner with James O'Keefe one night when I was in New York with some friends. We kind of run in the same circles on the East Coast. As a matter of fact, his close associates were people that I worked with back on the Bob Barr presidential campaigns.
Mhm.
So I've always been kind of tight with them. I think James O'Keefe come on an interview once when I was doing the morning show with News Radio. I think I had
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had James O'Keefe on the morning show one time. So we kind of run in the same circles, and the people that he's around and with and stuff like that, these are players. Like they do good work, and they're like us. They're not like the people who are like I don't know James is necessarily his ideological leanings. He might be a little bit more conservative for all I know,
Right.
but maybe not because he's into musical theater. So I'm not trying to insinuate anything.
Uh-uh.
I like James O'Keefe, and I think he does good work. And these accusations, I don't know that they're really going to hold up. But I think you know what it is. It's a conspiracy against him. You know, the Never Trumpers and the left are terrified of him because he always gets them. He always gets them.
Well, that is already going around on social media, of course, right now, is
Mm,
that isn't it convenient that, they just did that sting on Pfizer and
mm.
now,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Somebody
guess this is not exactly quiet quitting, is it?
Yeah, no, exactly right. I think, uh, here's the thing. Let me tell you a story. When I was in DC, I worked for Freedom Works. It's pretty much an
Mhm.
open secret. You can go out and read about this. There have been articles. The Daily Beast wrote an article back in the day. When I was there was an armed coup, right? Some from the board directors. We had Matt Kibbe and the VP, who's Adam Brandon, who's still there right now, actually. And the board came in, and there was a power struggle to try and control FreedomWorks because I mean, there's millions of dollars that fly through these organizations, right?
Right.
Veritas Project, like millions and millions of dollars run through these nonprofits. So some of these board members that are there on the Veritas Project, they many of them they could be jealous of James O'Keefe. Right? I'm not saying that this is exactly what it is because more information is going to come out on this in the coming days. But my guess is, if I were to guess, is that that this is an attempted hostile takeover of the
Mhm.
Veritas project, and it's probably by insidious forces who want to control James. Who probably James. It's really hard to control James, from what I understand. He's not the type of person to be controlled. He doesn't take orders. He's a leader, not a follower, and I get that, right?
Right. Well, and I think to do the kind of work that he's been doing, you have to be that way.
Yeah, you've got to have a bit of a maverick
Right.
streak in order to
Yeah.
do to accomplish what James O'Keefe is accomplishing here. James O'Keefe, it's in turmoil, says the Daily Beast. Working for O'Keefe at Project Veritas can mean being publicly humiliated by him in what amounts to quote public crucifixions and even being required to like take lie detector tests. Okay, that's effing hilarious.
Yeah. Hasn't anybody told them they don't work?
Yeah. I had some FBI agent that I meet with on the regular. Once a year I go to Oktoberfest. You know, you were there this last year.
Uh,
You met were you there? Did you meet that couple?
oh,
That
yes.
were the feds.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. They
Those are fascinating. They
yeah.
had some really interesting things to say.
Remember when they tried to convince us that lie detector tests work?
Right. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing was that the way that they work is not because they work, it's because they do like a series of entrapment in order to like essentially like coerce a confession in a way, right? That it's not that the lie detector test actually works, it's that the feds put you in a situation, a scenario where they basically put a knife to your throat and say, take this or we'll cut your throat or another way, or we'll bleed you dry by, lawsuits and things like that. We'll force you to spend 30 days in jail. We'll shoot your dog, if you don't do this or something like that. And then people go and take the lie detector test. And what they do is they ask them a series of questions to incriminate themselves. And the lie detector test itself is not scientific. It's just that the methodology
Right.
of interrogation is the
You
real
have to
forensic.
ask questions in such a way to elicit a physical reaction from
Sure.
someone. And so, I mean, if you create that as your baseline, then
Right. They'll show you a picture of gay porn and be like, I found this on your computer. You know what I mean? Something like that. Then they planted it there. But it's, the actual forensic methodology is the questions, not
Mhm.
the lie detector test. So anyways, okay, public crucifixions. That's a tad hyperbolic, wouldn't you say, James? I've never seen a public crucifixion. We haven't seen a public crucifixion since 0 AD or 33 AD,
Well,
was
unless
it?
you're in the Middle East.
Yeah, no point. Good point. Good point. Yeah, for sure.
And didn't somebody say in there too that the environment was basically like the beatings will continue until morale
Yeah.
improves?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Do you want a little cheese with that wine? Says Dustin, over on the live stream for sure. Appreciate that. All of your comments today, I appreciate so much. You can send in a text if you want to have it read on the air 573-319-1586. Tom D over in the live stream says that the same thing happened to Glenn Greenwald at Intercept. This is pretty common. This kind of stuff
Right.
happens when boards come in and try and lop it off. Again, it happened when I was at FreedomWorks. It was Dick, because Dick Armey had like co-founded it with Matt Kibbe, and Dick Armey was on the board, and he wanted to control it. He didn't like that Matt Kibbe had all this power, so Dick Armey came in and brought in an armed guard to like fire everybody, and then they like reinstated him and stuff like that. It was at that point in time, I'll never forget. This is 2013. Okay. It was at that point in time in 2013 that I said to myself, you know what? If these people can run a multi-million-dollar institution in the ground, so can I. And so I started, that was the year that I started my business, because I remember as soon as that coup happened, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to start I had like been doing the blog. If you go back in the time machine, the Wayback Time Machine, you can see the Libertarian Republic when it was a the WordPress blog. It was terrible, but I started learning how to like, monetize traffic, and that was kind of like it was that coup that actually got me off my ass.
Mm,
I quit my job at FreedomWorks, and uh, I was making an insane amount of money at FreedomWorks. It might be the most I've ever made in my life. Maybe I had like a parking lot on the Hill. I'd have like regular like weekly sit downs with Senator Mike Lee. I'd be hanging out with Rand Paul. Justin Mosh was there. Thomas Massey. I remember I called Thomas Massey a nerd when he came over for drinks one time, and he got really offended. And it was great, but I gave it all up because I was like, this is dangerous. This is not a good place to be for your career. Because you know what I realized too, if I wanted to stay there at FreedomWorks, if I wanted to continue to work in like the nonprofit sector in DC, I had to sell out. I realized that like the money that I was making was blood money, essentially. And it was, you know what? It was blood money from Tea Party, the Tea Party people,
mhm.
because that was the days of the Tea Party. And I was asking myself, I was like, is it worth what I was making at that time for me to take money from like grandmas who are taking $20 out of their cookie jar and
Right.
donate it for what's a good cause, for me to sit here in this glass castle in Washington D.C. and enjoy all these perks and benefits and free beer and all this kind of stuff. I felt guilt. And I also felt the danger, to myself personally. I was like, at any point in time, the same thing can just happen to me. And it's like, I'm reminded of my Bible: build your house upon the rock. Elijah Rock, shout to shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. That's not musical theater, is it?
Oh no,
I know. Yeah. It's Elijah Rock.
I never heard
You
that.
never heard the song Elijah Rock?
No, I don't
God,
think so. I
how are
don't
you
know.
ever a Christian?
Under a rock?
Elijah Rock, shout to shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord Jesus. Oh, God,
Oh
man.
well,
How do you not know Elijah Rock? For
I don't
God's sakes.
know.
I feel like I can't play it, unfortunately, because I'd get the stupid demonetization thing. They'd shut it down. We've got a nice big audience today. Glad to see you here this morning. If you are joining us now, we're talking about James O'Keefe given apparently they're trying to cancel him over at Project Veritas. He's been given he's been suspended with pay and accusations that he is a power hungry tyrant who publicly humiliates his staff and steals sandwiches from pregnant women. No, the pregnant women. He steals sandwiches from pregnant women. No kidding. This is one of the accusations being made against him. It sounds horrible over there. I mean, just absolutely terrible. I guarantee you all these assholes that are getting paid, like, probably some of these staffers are making six figures. You know what? Scream at me, James. When you get back, James, hire me. Scream at me all day long, James. Just give me those six figures, the money. Bring the Wake Up America
Austin
show.
likes to be screamed at.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yes. Camellia.
Sorry.
But I only like to be screamed at if they're like what Joe Biden says right here, which is no, wait. I'm looking. I'm looking at her. She looks 19 years old, little lady with her legs crossed. Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, we should bring the Wake Up America. What do you think? Should we bring the Wake Up America show into the Veritas Project? Let's have a reverse coup. What do you say? We'll clean house here. All right. So what do you think? Have we beaten the James O'Keefe topic to death? Are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll come back stronger than ever, and he will be reinstated, and there won't be any problems going forward because there's probably going to be some changes at the board. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, Camelia, have you ever been accused of sounding pretentious?
Maybe.
We all want to sound confident in the workplace when we're talking to a colleague or a boss, but sometimes office. Do you know how to say the word Jargon? Say it.
Jargon?
Yeah.
Jargon? What?
It,
It's just jargon, right?
Everybody point and laugh. Point and laugh. Is it jargon?
Why would it not be?
Is it jargon or is it jargon?
Oh, well, I don't know, but I don't like jargon,
I'm just
so I like jargon. So that's why I'll say.
you can jargon, get on out of here. Actually, you're right. Actually, Camelia, you're right. It was jargon.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I've heard one time I heard somebody say it like that where they said jargon, and I started making fun of them mercilessly. I was wondering if maybe you would say it like that so I could make fun of you, but you actually said it right. I got to make fun of you anyway, but you were right. 1 in 5 professionals say they dislike corporate jargon. This is the single biggest driver of bad public speaking is the desire to seem smart. God, guilty, guilty. Yeah. According to this article from CNBC, here are 10 puffery words. That's a good word, actually. That's kind of
Free.
puffery.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that puffery. Words and phrases to avoid in the workplace. By the way, Quest Fanning just sent us, we needed applause, a $20 super chat. Yeah. He says it isn't a super chat, it's a super duper chat. Franny and Kate send a send love Calvin's way.
Calvin,
Yes. You got to see Calvin last night.
I'm so excited and so frustrated. I'm not going anywhere.
I know because he gets so excited whenever anybody comes over, especially Camellia because he loves NTCJ like big time. He like loves her like almost more than he loves me and Stephanie. And so we had to put him in the cage so that he couldn't get out. And he's just like freaking out because he wants to get out and see CJ, but we can't have him moving around. Did you see him kind of like limping around a little bit last night, at all?
Yeah,
Yeah, stuff like
yeah.
that. Is one of his back legs is has started to he's gained a little bit of control over, but the other one is floppy.
Hmm.
So we're going to find out when we go to physical therapy next week, just kind of what his options are. So thank you for that, Quest. We appreciate that. All of our super chats this week go into the Save Our Calvin Fund. So we appreciate that. Also, don't forget today at 8:20, we are going to do a giveaway on the show. You don't want to miss it. And I say 8:20, which you think to yourself, oh, I'll just set an alarm and I'll come back at 8:20. It could be a little bit before 8:20. It could be a little bit after 8:20. I'm saying in the general region of 8:20 today.
8:20-ish.
8:20-ish, we are going to do a giveaway of a free LED light up gamer mouse pad with a picture of George Washington on it that says da, 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 armed and dangerous. No, it says if you want peace, prepare for war. It's kind of a bastardization of a George Washington quote. So here's how I suggest if you actually want to win that mouse pad, here's what I'm going to suggest. First of all, you're going to get a question. It's a trivia question. It's a trivia question about me. And so you'll have to use the word, which is the answer, as the coupon code to get the free mouse pad. There are 4 sizes of that mouse pad. Okay. The smallest mouse pad is the one I'm giving away. Hey, it's free. Don't complain. Okay. So the mouse pad that you want, put it in your cart right now. Go to AP for Liberty Shop and put it in your cart and get ready to check out because what's going to happen is it's going to ask you for your coupon code. You put the coupon code in and it will give you a 100% discount off on the product. Now, is there a chance it might charge you for shipping and handling? Yes. Will I refund your shipping and handling if it does charge you that? Yes, I will do that. So don't worry about it. Put it in your cart. Get ready to enter that coupon code around 8:20-ish, and we're going to do a free giveaway of an awesome George Washington light out mouse pad. Only one person owns one. One person bought one immediately last night. I also made it as a hoodie, as well as it's on a hoodie. The design's on a hoodie as well as on cell phone cases, and the cell phone cases have a card holder in them. They're really high quality cell phone cases, so you can get that awesome design if you want it on like a cell phone instead of a mouse pad, so you can show it off to all your friends about how badass you are. All right, 10 puffery words and phrases to avoid in the workplace. Number 1, writ large. God, I love that phrase, but it is puffery.
So I have a confession.
Let's hear it.
Last night I was like, oh my word.
Why do you use it? Do you
I
use
used it yesterday.
Shut up. Shut up. She used it yesterday. It's funny. That is funny. That is funny. We'd love to hear from you today. Make sure you send us a text 573-319-1586. One of our listeners actually texted in. Looks like Quest. He's asking just checking about the giveaway prize, 35.4-inch version of the mouse pad. So here's the version of the mouse pad that we're giving away is 23.6 by 11.8, the rectangle one. So the 23.6 by 11.8 is the one that you're going to want to have in your cart ready to go. What is the word? Is asking Elizabeth Press. You don't know yet what the word is because you have to come back and
Nice
brief.
try,
That was
though.
a nice try. I gotta say, actually, that was a nice try. So, if you're watching us over on Instagram today, I hope you're enjoying it. We are working on integrating Instagram into the news show. So, if you're watching us over there, we appreciate you very much. But if there is any technical issue today on Instagram, just an FYI, a lot of our friends are over on YouTube, and we'd be more than happy to have you join us over there as well. The theory is that if we're streaming it on Instagram, we continue to grow our audience, and yeah, and things go well. All right, I don't know if it's actually working on Instagram or not, but somebody could check that out. That'd be great. All right, here we go. So the oh yeah, next word. So writ large. So use writ large. What's next? Individual. I say that shit all the time. What's wrong with individual? Individual. Maybe they say if you say it like that, individual. Don't talk about words you
This
shouldn't
is
use.
America.
Yeah, no kidding. This is America. I want to say individual.
This is
Individual
the
liberty.
word you say in America, right? This is like
Individualism.
right.
You know what it is that we're a bunch of nerds. You know, I mean, not only we're word nerds, number one, and then number two, like we're libertarians, which means we believe in
Individual liberty.
individual liberty. Give us individual liberty.
Individual responsibility.
Individual responsibility. Yes, give us individual liberty and individual responsibility, or give us death. Welcome to the Wake Up America show to all of our friends over on the live stream. Make sure you click like on that on the stream so that we can get out there in other people's streams as well. Somebody do me a favor and go and check on Instagram at my AP for Liberty Instagram and let me know if the stream is up over there. I don't know because I had to like close that window so it wouldn't shut up. So if I closed it and it's no longer streaming over there, I would like to know. Okay, next word is what is it, Camelia?
At this point in time.
Oh, a phrase.
Why is
That's puffery. You're supposed to speak at a third grade level, I guess. You know.
I guess so,
Yeah.
but maybe we need to stop dumbing down our language.
Yeah, no, thank you. Exactly. Yeah, let's give Camelia an applause for that. Number 4, I guess I could see this, but if you work in the financial industry, there's no way that you're not going to use this word.
Right.
Leverage.
Right. And even, well, yeah, you hear this used all over the place if you you leverage things for, the best value.
Yeah, leverage. Yeah, leverage is like it's really not that use a lever, right? Get some leverage, right? How are you not going to use that word if you're trying to get some leverage on something, blue collar? The CNBC people are just I don't know what they're saying here today.
Whatever you do, though, don't leverage your relationships.
I leverage my relationships all the time. I leverage our relationship to get you on the show twice a week. Helps me a lot. Number 5. This one I can totally see though.
Lamentably.
Lamentably. Lamentably. Who really now that is for sure pretentious. That's some puffery right there when you say.
And it's an adverb. Like, how do you even use lamentably? Lamentable,
Yes.
a little bit different, but
that's lamentable.
but if you're
Pardon me,
using,
sir. Do you have any Grey Poupon?
yeah, lamentable's that's puffery. I'll agree with that.
Lamentable is puffery. Number 6. Thank you, Mr. Biden. Number 6. Utilize. What do you think? Up or down?
I like utilize, and I don't think it's puffery. I utilize all the time.
Yes. Utilize. It's utilize. So looks like we're not streaming over on Instagram. It must have shut down when I closed that window. So that's quite unfortunate, but we'll try again a little bit. We'll take a little commercial break actually, so I can rest my voice. But when we come back, we will finish this list of words and we will move on to the next topic, which is going to be Donald Trump going after Ron DeSantis again. Yeah, he just can't stop. But we're going to take a little break. We'll be back on the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today.
Fire.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com. With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.
Good morning. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show. It's the most anti-disestablishmentarianism show on the internet. Joining me live in studio for this puffery is Camellia Peterson. How you doing, CJ?
Good, very good.
Yes. Quest Fanning sent us a super chat. We appreciate you, Quest. Yes, I stole that from you. He says, ever try slipping anti-disestablishmentarianism into an office conversation? I mean, we used to joke about that when we were kids. It's like one of the longest words ever or something like that.
Yeah, I never have.
There's some town in Ireland called like yeah, it's like that long. It's like 26 syllables. I don't know I don't know how to pronounce it for anymore, but there was apparently one like news anchor in England who could actually pronounce the name
Oh
of it,
boy.
and he was like a weather anchor, so he like says, so he would he would always point out, because they choose which areas of the regions to show the temperature, so he would show the temperature in Hajawaga. It's some, you know, some Celtic name or something like that that's 26 syllables, but if anybody knows what it is and can copy and paste it in the chat, I would appreciate that. You can also send us a text today at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. We'd love to hear from you today on your thoughts. If you want to send them as a super chat over on YouTube, you can at youtube.com/AP for Liberty. Again, I do read your read your chats for free if you send them in to us on the text line. We appreciate you very much over there. So make sure that you do that, like you do that. We should be, let's see. Okay, yeah, we're not streaming on Instagram. I'll figure that out at some point, and we'll get it maybe tomorrow. Corey sent us a text message. He says, "Office talk that I hate. Put a pin in it."
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Is that one kind of like puffery?
It's like, well, and it's also really overused, or put a bow on it. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, meh.
Or how about, yeah, circle back. Let's circle back.
Well, you know, what's her name?
Oh, was it
Red,
Jen? Was it Jen Psaki?
Jen Psaki. Yeah, she killed that, and it's like bad because like every time you want to say it because it makes sense to say it, you're like,
Yeah, you don't want to say circle back because they're like, she's Democrat.
well, and you also can't really say it's my pleasure anymore either.
Why not?
Because that's like the Chick-fil-A thing now, and so you can't say it's my pleasure without thinking about Chick-fil-A now. I guess if you go to Chick-fil-A a lot. I'm not saying I go to Chick-fil-A a lot.
That's true. Hold on. Steffi's got a good word here. Pneumultra microscopic glycovolcanoconiosis. That was the biggest word when she was in high school.
Well, you know, leave it to medical words to.
Yeah, exactly. Tom D says humana conica pua. I have no idea what the hell that is. So that sounds like a bowel movement. You can. What are some office words and terminology that you hate? We'd love to hear from you. Send us a text 573-319-1586. Somebody else said circle. Corey, when he texted in, he said circle the wagons. I
Yeah.
got to circle the wagons on this one, folks. I got to circle with James O'Keefe. We need to circle the wagons around James O'Keefe. You know what I'm saying? We need to circle up around James O'Keefe. Or how about this one? I've never heard anybody use this one. Peel back the onion. Corey says that he doesn't like that in office talk, but I've never heard anybody use that.
Very often.
No. Find out who's in the zoo.
I've not heard that one either.
No, Corey, to send us a text and explain to us what you're talking about.
It's like, you know, what kind of place do you work at? What are these people?
Honestly, they sound kind of interesting, to be honest. I'd love to hear from you on that, Corey, if you're still listening. And any mention of sausage making, you know, how the sausage is made. God, in politics, we hear that one all the time, don't we? We hear that one way too much. You can send us a text with office talk that you hate. So 573-319-1586. Somebody sent us a text message and asked if I would ever consider selling insulin pumps or first aid kits. Yeah, sure. Sneaky Pete Holsters contacted me, so maybe a new advertiser. Hell yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. Everybody could use first aid kits. Would you buy a first aid kit from a guy like me? I don't know. Let us know over in the chat if you would. If you would buy a first aid kit from AP, that would probably be a good example to find out how well we would do. You can text the show at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Oh, Tom D says that whatever that Hamana Kanalaga Miki Maka was the Hawaiian state fish. Okay, so I imagine I still imagine that even in Hawaii, they probably don't try and sneak that into office conversation. We're talking about puffery words that people should stop using in the office if they don't want to sound pretentious. Another one, utilize. What do you think? Utilize?
So no, I mean, utilize is pretty tame.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know that people are like, I guess there is a way to sound sort of pretentious if you use it. Did you utilize the camera? Did you utilize the LED light?
It's just a very utilitarian word, and I don't know what the problem is.
Utilitarian. She said it. She said it. No, it's a bastardization of the word utilize. If you're just tuning into the show, by the way, FYI, we have got a free giveaway coming up at apforlibertyshop.com. We're going to give away a free LED light up George Washington mouse pad. And if you want to win, I suggest you head over to AP for Liberty shop and put it in your cart. And I will give you the clue for the coupon code. And you know what? The first person who gets it gets it. It is for the LED light up mouse pad. There's only one being given away. It's the 23.6 by 11.81. Put that in your cart if you want to win, right? You're going to have to come back at 8:20-ish to get the clue. The first person who puts the code in at checkout is going to get it. Now, there's a chance it might charge you shipping and handling. Guess what? I will refund your shipping and handling. I can't change that part of the system. It's just, it is what it is, but I'll refund you the $5 or whatever it is. Okay. You're going to get a free mouse pad. It's got George Washington on it. It's awesome. But there are 4 different sizes. So make sure you put the right size in your cart, because even if you get the code right, but you put the wrong size in there, well, guess what? Somebody else is going to get it, because by the time you fumble around in the cart and you're like, oh my God, I can't find it, right? It's not working. I've got the right code. I know I've got the right code, but it's not giving me the discount. What's happening? Why is it charging me for this? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Just make sure that you've got the right size. So go to apforlibertyshop.com right now, put the 23.6 by 11.8 mouse pad in your cart, and I will give you the clue at 8:20 and you type it in the discount code. Okay. I don't want to hear any complaining at 9 a.m. and you're like, thing, or, I don't want to hear any complaints about that. Okay. It's a free mouse pad. Okay. I'm doing my best to help you get something for free. So just take it easy. Okay.
Is that inches? Like that
Yeah,
size?
it's big.
I was like, and there are bigger sizes?
Yeah. So
Holy cow.
So go to the site and check it out right now at apforlibertyshop.com. It's huge. If you look at, because it's like a gamer mouse pad, because when you're a gamer, like if you have these tiny little mouse pads, you frequently will, like, if you're playing a game, then you're going to run out of space because you're like moving around a lot and making all kinds of big movements. So gamers need big mouse pads. So this one takes up like a desk space. And it's a nice soft pad, and it lights up all the way around the outside of it. So it's totally cool.
My daughters would know this, but I would not. I have one who does computer gaming and the other does Xbox gaming.
There you go. So if you're a computer gamer, but I mean, even if you're not, it's
cool.
It's a sexy mouse pad. I designed it myself, and it's available for you. And if you don't get one for free today, you can also buy it.
It's also like an accent piece on your desk.
Yeah, it's cool. I need to get one here for my desk, and then I need to set up a camera so that you can look down when I'm working, and like the buttons I'm pushing, right?
Would be cool.
Yeah. I hit the Rickroll button, because what most people don't know is that when I hit my little audio buttons down here on my Stream Deck, like, so when you hear so I actually have a little video of Rick Astley dancing. So I hit that button, and I actually have like the GIF of Greta Thunberg going, "How dare," right? It's actually like the video of her going, you can see it, so I know what I'm doing. And this one right here, the cheering, that's Patrick from SpongeBob, from like this and stuff. And the boo is Adam Sandler going like this. So, and then it's a little baby crying for that. This one is like Pikachu looking sad. So anyways, if you want to win that, you're going to have to come back at 8:20 if you do have to come back. But I suggest you don't come back and stick around with us the entire time, because that's going to be your best chance to win that free mouse pad today. apforlibertyshop.com. It's huge, says Quest Fanning. Yes, we got 51 people watching us this morning, Camellia.
Good morning.
Good morning. The live stream certainly is getting big. We've been talking about James O'Keefe this morning and the attempted coup to try and push him out by some members of the board. It is a damn shame. And we here at Wake Up America Show, we stand James O'Keefe. We love James O'Keefe and what he does, and we believe that there is a conspiracy to get him because he is a powerful force for conservative politics. So anyways, what's next? We're talking right now, though, about workplace jargon that people use. Jargon. Workplace jargon that people use, and it sounds totally pretentious. Last one before we went to the commercial break was utilized. Now we're on
Uber. What?
So I think that what they mean here is not in the context of like catch an Uber, I think they mean like it's Uber excellent, or it's like Uber mensch, or I think like, because using Uber in another context other than for like the service these days, I think is kind of pretentious. It's like this isn't this this Starbucks Frappuccino isn't extra. It's Uber. I can see that as being pretentious as hell, to be honest, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's uber pretentious. Okay, the next one is
Zoom out.
I don't know. Zoom out. Who the hell uses that? It help us.
Just like, and the same thing for the next one. 30,000 feet foot view.
30,000 foot view.
I've never heard that
This
used.
must be kind of like a coasty thing, right?
Yeah, maybe so.
Probably we don't use these. We don't hear this in the Midwest. In the Midwest, we don't say this kind of stuff. But I can imagine that if you're like if you're in Silicon Valley, or you're, it's some DC think tank on K Street or something like that, they're probably like, okay, 30,000 foot view, right? Let's look at this. When well, you know what we say?
Look at the bigger picture.
Look at the big picture. And then, the think tank people would look at us like, stupid son of a bitch. And then number 10, guilty. I use this one. Yeah, I think everybody does.
Out of pocket.
I'm going to be out of pocket for the afternoon,
I'm out of pocket. Like, how else? What other ways do you say that?
I have no idea. So here's how CNBC justifies this. They say that these phrases can seem pretentious because they aren't clear and concise. They dance around the real message a professional is trying to get across and can sometimes be misinterpreted. God, the nattering nabobs of negativity, I swear.
So I guess with out of pocket, if you like don't want to say exactly what you're doing, and whatever.
I mean, out of pocket just means I'm unavailable, I guess. I guess you're supposed to say you're unavailable, and that's what it is. They want you to do. I'm not sure. You can text the show today at 573-319-1586. Corey says that he heard that in the Army, the 30,000 foot view, bird's eye view, zoom out, 300,000 foot view. Well, they can get that kind of a view in the Army, I guess.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That makes sense for military.
Yes. Somebody messaged in. This is a great comment. They said, I don't go to Starbucks because they correct me when I ask for a large. You mean Venti? Yes. That's so pretentious. That's one of the reasons I'm
Venti or Venti?
Venti or Venti? Oh my God, please. Oh my God, bro. Oh God, damn little ass on there. We love to see so many people following us on the stream this morning. Everybody's tuning into the Wake Up America show because I know what it is. They all want that free mouse pad. They all want to win that mouse pad. I'm going to check out my analytics over at AP for Liberty Shop real quick to see if I can see people. Oh, there's only one person right now who's lingering on the site. That means that the one person who's on AP for Liberty Shop right now, who probably has that in their cart, has a 100% chance of winning that free.
We took that ish seriously.
They took that ish seriously. They're looking at things from a 50,000 foot view. That's for sure. Yeah, if you want to win a free mouse pad today, you're going to get a clue, and the answer to the clue is the code, and it will be all capital letters, FYI, when you enter the code in, right? And it will be a very short code that you use for the mouse pad to win it. So, Elizabeth Fanning Press says it's Venti. Chris Morrell's got the real comment. He says, Dunkin' would never do that to you. Amen. And God bless Dunkin' Donuts. Unpretentious, delicious coffee, delicious donuts. I got to give it to Dunkin'. I can't stand Starbucks.
I don't like Starbucks for their black coffee. It's always tastes burnt. But what I do like Starbucks for is...
Oh, the Frappuccinos?
No, I don't drink those.
Really? Well,
no, is a dirty chai.
Oh, okay.
They make a better dirty chai than a lot of places. It's like my standard for every coffee shop anymore. Thanks a lot, Matt Unruh. This is completely his fault for turning me on to dirty chais. But anyway, so yeah.
Anna Max texted in or left a comment on the live stream and says, I asked for a supersize. That'd be hilarious.
Can you supersize that?
Dude, it would be so funny to do a video series. I'm sure some YouTube pranksters could do something like that. Go to Starbucks and just say, I want a supersized Frappuccino. And they're like, do you mean a grande? You mean a Venti? And so that'd be like, no, I want supersized, bitch. Shut up. Give me my... Yeah, pretentious words. What are some other pretentious words? Can you think of any? Send us a text, 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Camellia, did I ever send you the article in the National Review? Did I do that or not?
No.
I didn't do it, did I? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, Rare Camellia. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I think I might still have it in my copy and paste. There it is. I just sent it to you. Okay, this is about this is an article about Donald Trump going after Ron DeSantis. The 2024 election is already heating up. Donald Trump's getting squeezed left and right. I have to say, and I know people aren't going to like hearing me say this, and we might actually lose a few viewers when I say this, But I think that I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I thought Joe Biden's play the other night in the State of the Union was a brilliant play. Because the GOP played right into his hands, those fools, right? You know, when he called them out for the sunset provision and tied it to Medicare. That was a brilliant play because the Republicans immediately were falling all over themselves to shout their agreement with Joe Biden. Right? Can you imagine the Republicans like fighting Joe Biden to get on the boat? They're like, no, 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 we're with you, Biden, we're with you. Like that's essentially what they were saying. And some people, like because of my pro-immigration message and my rant about it yesterday, that got people under people's skin, where I was calling out Marjorie Taylor Greene for saying on one hand that you're pro, Medicare, right? And then on the other hand, you're anti-immigrant. How can you be pro expanding the welfare state and anti increase the GDP, right? Because and people are like, well, these immigrants, they come here and they take welfare benefits. You know what the sad reality is? Natives take welfare benefits at a far greater rate than immigrants do.
We know that for sure.
Yeah, the people who come to the United States, who immigrate to the United States, they work their asses off and they pay into the system. And here's the thing, illegal immigration has its benefits, it has its negatives, and it has its positives. But the positives are only positives if it stays illegal, meaning that they pay into the welfare system, because if they use a fake social security number, they pay into it, but they're not eligible to collect it, which would mean that they're a net gain on the social security system, because if they used a fake number, their employer will have to pay those social security taxes on that fake number, but then they don't get the opportunity to collect it because they're illegal, right? But so on one hand, but what really people who are anti-immigration but pro-welfare state, right? It's one thing if you're anti-welfare state and anti-immigration, that at least I think is a consistent position. But the Republican position today, the progressives in the Republican Party, which I did a good video on progressive republicanism yesterday. If you haven't watched it, make sure you explain it. It's explained in 1 minute. The attitude of Republicans today is we need to expand the entitlement state, and we need to maintain and expand it, and we need to prevent immigration that would expand the GDP to pay for these programs. Because one, like I said yesterday, we're not breeding at a replacement rate, which is one thing, right?
Sure.
That's something that needs to be addressed.
Right.
And two, the entitlements in Medicare and Medicaid will have to be borne by a burden will have to be borne by someone. So what an anti-immigrant, pro-welfare state Republican is saying is, I'm going to use some language here, by the way. If you've got kids listening in, I'm going to say some bad words, but I think they're warranted. What an anti-immigrant, pro-welfare Republican is saying is, fuck entrepreneurs in this country.
Yep.
Fuck them because they can't hire who they want to hire at any rate. Somebody said yesterday, there's 1 million green cards that get passed a year. No, it's not. It's like 200,000. And fuck the American entrepreneur. And most of the people who have these attitudes, by the way, have never created a job in their life, right? They've always been on, collecting through a W-2. Fuck the American entrepreneur, and also fuck the American worker, the young American worker. Fuck the millennial worker. Fuck the Zoomers. Fuck all of them, because they should have to pay the entire burden for the Medicare that we demand, for the expanding entitlement state. No. We don't want immigrants to come in here and help bear that burden. We want it all to be on you, all of that welfare state burden. Now, again, if you're anti-welfare state, if you're against Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all these programs of which people you say, well, I paid into it, so I should collect it back. The boomer generation now are collecting more from these programs than they paid in.
For sure.
Okay. So that's no longer your money. Okay. Right. So it is an entitlement if you're collecting more money than you paid in, right? Which a lot of people will. Not everybody will. Some people will die before they collect Social Security. That's not the case. But many people will collect more from these programs than they paid in. So if you're anti-entitlement and anti-immigration, we might have a disagreement on the immigration thing, but at least you're consistent, right? I get that. But if you're pro-welfare state, pro-Medicare, pro-Medicaid, pro-expansion, all these programs, one of those Republicans and you're anti-immigration, you really do hate the young American worker and the entrepreneur. I mean, you might as well. Like I explained, the only difference between a progressive Republican and a progressive Democrat is their view on God.
Right.
It really is. It's the social issues.
Right.
That's all it is. right? Progressivism is a position on economics and a position on the view of government and society. Progressives believe that the role of government is to transform society. And progressive Republicans agree with progressive Democrats on that. It's just of what vision of society that they want to steer us all towards. Whereas our view, the individual view, is that people should be free to make their own choices, and society and culture are a product of individual choices, and society and culture is are voluntary institutions rather than mandatory government institutions. All right, rant over.
What I really love is when you hear the people say, like, "Oh, we need to like put a moratorium on immigration for 20 years."
Right,
Like,
right.
so like, come on, like people
Yeah.
who talk like that and people who say we need to cut off immigration, I'm like, you've really never dove into this and you think it's so easy. Because I guess that's one of the perks, with being with Americans for Prosperity now is that I know a lot of the policy wonk people who are working with immigration. It is mind-boggling. I mean, it's just so convoluted. It's incredible. And here in Missouri, we're actually dealing, we don't very often get to deal with the immigration issue at the state level, but we're dealing with it because the federal government won't do anything about the illegal immigration because even with AFP, even though we get accused of being open borders, we're not. You need a controlled, closed border, but you need to make immigration easier. We need hard
Yeah, you need
workers.
to legalize immigration because it's essentially the progressive Republican attitude on this. Again, is the same as the progressive liberal attitude when it comes to gas stoves. So the liberals don't want to ban gas stoves; they just want to regulate them out of existence.
Right.
Republicans don't want to ban immigration; they just want to regulate it out of existence. Right? Progressives only want 90% of your tax. You're not a slave; they only want 90% of everything that you own. Right? Right? You can immigrate here, only 10% or not even 10% of people who apply get approved. So of course the reason why they're streaming in across the border illegally is because there's no incentive to immigrate legally. You have to create the right incentive structure, and we have created an incentive structure of illegal immigration. I don't want illegal immigration. I want us to have a good, proper immigration system. But the fact is that Republicans, I think when they say that they want legal immigration, I know that you're not going to like this. I think most of them are lying because or if they're not outright lying, then then they don't realize if you sat down and asked them about 10 or 15 questions, well, should somebody be able to immigrate under this circumstance? Should somebody be able to immigrate under that circumstance? It's no, 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 no,
Right.
no, 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 no.
And in the meantime, we have like 2.8%
Right.
unemployment here
Yeah.
in Missouri, and we need people to work.
Can I have a gas stove if it has a vent over it? No. Can I have a gas stove if I don't have any children in the house that could possibly develop asthma? No. Can I have well, we're not banning gas stoves. We're not banning gas stoves. It's not illegal to have a gas stove, but you have to meet these emission standards and you have to meet all that. It's just like with taxes, right? Like taxation is used to prevent people from engaging in an activity, right? Taxation isn't necessarily just a form of revenue from the government. It's, one of the reasons why we have sin taxes, for example, right? They don't ban alcohol, right? They don't outright ban marijuana in places like, California where the taxes are 45%. Right. And pretty soon you're going to have a black market in stoves the same way that they still have a black market for weed in California because
Well, they
it's
want to
so
legalize things because they want the taxes.
yeah, right.
Weed,
Exactly.
betting, sports betting, big deal right
And then
now.
what happens? Only the wealthy, and then what happens is only the wealthy people can afford to have a gas stove, right? Only the wealthy people can afford to buy marijuana legally. Only wealthy immigrants are the ones who are allowed to come to the United States, right? Which, okay, well, I guess that's fine, right? Because again, what I'm trying to prove here is that like people who say that they're for legal immigration, sooner or later you realize it's the same as the progressive attitude on gas stoves. Well, I don't want to ban it. It's legal, you just nobody can afford it. Right? Exactly. I know that people don't like hearing that. That's too effing bad. I am not a
Truth hurts.
yeah, truth hurts, bitch. It does. And I love the conservatives too. They get mad and they're like, conservatism is more than just about fiscal issues. It's about cultural issues and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, my culture is not your culture. Mi casa e not su casa. My private property is not your private property. Like people, they assume that the United States needs to be a monoculture.
No, that's the beauty of America.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why it's America.
yeah, that's they don't like the whole pluralistic society thing, right? They want everybody, and it's very conformist. It's kind of it's very anti-individual. It's very collectivist. You know, just like, it's like, I'm fine. I like living in rural country where there are Christians and stuff like that. But you know what I do? I hang out. Sometimes I go out on Saturday nights. I hang out with the dirty birdies of the community, and we like to party and smoke and drink and listen to jazz music and rock and roll. And every once in a while, there might even be a black person that attends a party. For God's sake, talk about a pluralistic society. But the funny thing too about the whole mass immigration, like, we don't need mass immigration. We don't need mass immigration. Well, here's a question: which mass of immigration, which wave did your ancestors come through? Because my ancestors were the product of mass immigration. My ancestors came over in a big huddle, the poor, the tired, the huddled masses. They came over on the Heilig Olaf. That was the name of the boat that they came over on, the Petersons that sailed from Copenhagen. They sailed on the Heilig Olaf, and you know what? There were masses of them, masses of them. I think and I know that this is going to get me in trouble again. I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. They didn't have because those were masses of white people.
Oh.
Those were mass immigration. If it was mass immigration from Norway, they'd be like, okay, you know. But it's not. Although Norway right now is, having some problems. It's not to say, listen, it's not to say that there aren't some problems with mass immigration, right? And if you have a welfare state, you're going to have people coming here for the negative incentives. But to make the argument that immigration isn't on net positive for society is just economically ignorant. It is, right? It is an economic question, no matter how much you want to say it's about culture, all those kind of things. Yeah, there is a culture. But again, you make the mistake of assuming that because I'm white like you, that I share the same culture as you, and I don't. I have my own culture. I have my own group. I have my own friends. Keep your culture on your own private property and leave me alone to my culture, right? Like, I have a culture of one. Okay. It's getting closer to the gift giveaway time. Is anybody here interested in winning a free mouse keyboard? Because here's the thing, I'm going to do it a little bit early and I'll tell you why. Because there was probably at least one person, Camellia, who was like, I'm just going to go away and I'm going to set an alarm and I'm going to come back, right? But I'm going to do the giveaway now. We said 8:20-ish.
Well, that's big-ish.
It's 10 minutes of ish. Okay. It's a 2-hour show. Okay. So we are going to do the giveaway of the LED mouse pad now. Are you excited? Okay. So here is how this is going to work. And I need you to listen to me very carefully as I explain to you how to get this free mouse pad. And here's how this is going to work. Only one of you are going to win the mouse pad, which means that even if you do everything right, which I'm going to explain to you right now, you might still not get the mouse pad because somebody else might have entered the code before you. Only one person is going to win the mouse pad now. Are you ready? Okay. Here's how this is going to work. I am going to give you a clue. You are going to know what the answer to the clue is. There's a way to find this clue very easily. Some of you are going to know the answer to this immediately, and you're going to have an advantage over it. Other people are going to be able to Google really quickly and answer this. So whoever wins to the victor goes the spoils. Here's how you win right now. Go to apforlibertyshop.com right now. apforlibertyshop.com. Remember, Amanda, even if you don't have a mouse, you can still give it as a nice gift to somebody. Go to apforlibertyshop.com right now, and here's what it is. Okay, put the mouse pad in your cart. Okay, it's the 23.6 by 11.8 mouse pad. Okay, there are 4 mouse pads. Don't put 4 mouse pads in. Don't put the other 3. Don't put all 4 of them in there. Well, put them all 4 in there if you want to buy them, but you'll get one of them for free if you put the right code in, the discount code. Okay, put the 23.6 by 11.8 mouse pad in your cart right now, and I'm watching you. Okay, this is your chance. You're going to put the discount code in. Okay, and the discount code is going to give you a 100% discount on that item right now. If you're on apforlibertyshop.com right now and you've got it queued up into your cart, you can put in the clue. It might charge you shipping and handling. Okay, FYI. I will refund that to you. Okay, so just relax. If it asks you for your card and you have to pay shipping and handling, and you lose it in that second because somebody else gets it faster than you, I'm sorry. Please don't get mad at me. I'm trying to give away something for free the best I can, and to promote and advertise my new awesome product. If you don't get it, just buy it. How about that? Buy it because it's awesome. 23.6 by 11.8. So put that in your cart right now. And here is the clue for the discount code. Are you ready? Are you ready? The discount code, 4 letters. Okay, 4 letters. Put them all in capital letters. The clue is, this is so easy. Camila's going to be like, oh, God. The clue is the discount code, which is, what is it? It is my middle name. Put my middle name in as the code and you win. You know what it is, obviously, Camille. It's easy, right? It's easy. That's your opportunity right now to win the free LED mouse pad. Put in the code, which is my middle name, all capital letters. Again, it might charge you for the shipping and handling. Just so you know, by the time when the show is over, I will refund that to you. So the price of it will be absolutely $0. You will get a free LED light up mouse pad if you go there right now and enter in my code, my name, my middle name. So do you know what my middle name is? Use it as the discount code.
Good luck.
Or good luck. Right now, we're going to watch and see who the winner is. And once we see what the order is, then we'll know who won. So we've got 13 people in there right now going for it, Camellia. They're in Sedalia. They're in Brooklyn. They're in Jefferson City. There's 11 people right now checking out, trying to win. It's a race to the finish to see who gets it first. We're going to see who wins. I'm really excited. Gosh, we're off to the races. Here we go. We got this. Oh, I know people are going to be upset if they don't win. There's 14 people checking out right now, 7 active carts. People are trying to get through to get that free LED light up mouse pad with George Washington on it at apforlibertyshop.com right now. We do not have a winner just yet, but we will have one soon. The chance to opportunity, the clue for the discount code is my middle name. Put my middle name in 4 letters, all capital letters. Again, it might charge you a fee for the shipping handling, but that will be refunded to you. This is your opportunity to win right now. Make sure that you head over to apforlibertyshop.com. There are 4 different mouse pads. There it is. 1 item order. Somebody just won. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Let's see who it is. Who was the winner? And the winner today was we ready? I need to do the to get like a drum roll thing up here on the stream. The winner was Dave Schurman. Dave, congratulations.
Hey.
You are the winner. I did see that it looks like it did charge him for the shipping and handling. He got the discount code. Congratulations, Dave. I will refund your shipping and handling. It looks like it charged you $5 there for that. So congratulations, Dave. And thanks so much for playing the game. We'll do this again in the future. That was fun, wasn't it?
Fun.
Yeah. And if you didn't win today, you can support the show by buying the mouse pad because it's actually pretty reasonably priced and it's awesome. It lights up, plugs into your computer, looks really good on your desk. Make sure you get yourself one today and it helps support the show. All the money that we earn this week goes to support my poor little paralyzed pooch, Calvin, who is unfortunately went lame this week. And we are hoping that he will have a recovery, but the prognosis not necessarily all that great. So anyways, congratulations to all my friends. And the answer was, yes, Quest Fanning says the answer was Wade. Yes, the answer was Wade. So congratulations to Dave. You won you won it. And God, that was kind of fun. He's looks like Dave is a cool cat. So congratulations. Yeah, definitely a cool mouse pad. Make sure that you check it out. And maybe if you didn't win it and you're looking for something for a good gift idea, tell people to go over to the AP for Liberty shop and get yourself a gift. And if it's in your cart right now and you still want it, just go ahead and check out. All right. Animax. So yeah, the question was Wade. My middle name is Wade. All right, we're going to take a quick little commercial break. When we get back, what's next? Oh, we're going to talk about
We haven't talked about DeSantis and Trump.
DeSantis and Trump. I don't know. Would you rather we talk? Here's the thing. We'll do a poll over on the live stream. Would you rather have us talk about DeSantis versus Trump or Leonardo DiCaprio dating 19-year-old girls? I will tally it up over on the live stream. Leonardo DiCaprio dating 19-year-olds or Trump versus DeSantis. It's up to you. Vote now with your phones. And we'll be back on the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
American conservatism is distinct, like America is distinct from the United Kingdom. American conservatism's roots comes out of the Wild West, out of pioneerism. The difference between American conservatives and European conservatives is that Americans are cowboys. We are that God, guns, gold, and girls. It's wild here, and we should stay that way. We shouldn't allow a European version of conservatism to come and infect us here. We like it wide open spaces here, deep in the heart of Texas and all that.
Hey there, it's your favorite Vice President Joe Biden. I wanted to talk to you today about the Wake Up America show, the best source for all your political news and commentary. But before I get started, let me just make sure I have all my notes in order. Okay, where was I? All right, the Wake Up America show. It's a great way to stay informed and make your voice heard. Boy, what was I saying again? Oh, right. The Wake Up America show. It's important that we all stay engaged and knowledgeable about what's going on in our country and, the thing. But hold on, where was I going with all this? Oh, yeah. The Wake Up America show. It's a fantastic resource. And if you really want to make a difference, man, you can sign up to be a monthly donor at wakeupAmericaShow.com/support. Now, where was I? Oh, that's right, the Wake Up America show. So if you want to stay woke and support a great cause, head on over to wakeupAmericaShow.com/support and sign up to be a monthly donor today. And if you're feeling generous, you can even give a donation in my name. Thanks for listening, and keep on keeping on, America. Come on, man.
George. Thank you for watching the Wake Up America show with my dad. Today, I'd like to share with you 3 reasons why you should visit Dad's online store at apforlibertyshop.com. Number 1, you can get exclusive freedom-loving merch designed by AP himself or me mum, Steffi. Liberty Laura has made some designs as well, and blimey, they are great. Number 2, most of these products are so wicked that they aren't even allowed to be advertised on Facebook or Instagram. Modern machine guns and a proper keychain. Plus, our Grover Cleveland t-shirt is so spicy apparently that leftists on Facebook specifically banned it from appearing on the website. Number 3, you're supporting liberty lovers just like you. Spend your money where you earn it, and you help me pups build a community that supports what you believe. Bloody hell, this commercial is running too long. Gotta run. Bye now. Don't forget to visit apforlibertyshop.com. That's apforlibertyshop.com.
Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. CJ's still in the house. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate you, Camellia.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, glad to have you here today, Camellia. You can text the show today at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Here in about 10 minutes, or a little bit less, we're going to have our friend Daniella Pentsak this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about dual loyalty that Hollywood has between the United States and China. Make sure that you stick around for us. Daniella will give us a nice little report. And before we do, I guess people really do want to hear us talking about Trump versus DeSantis. Did he say, because I saw Amanda over in the live stream say that he has signaled that he has no intent on running? Is that true?
I don't think so. I think, when he was asked about that a while back, what he really said, because, he knows how to frame the answer carefully, is he was focused on his gubernatorial race at the time.
Right.
So I don't think he's ever come out and said anything to indicate that he is not considering or wouldn't run.
Yeah, I would be curious to hear, because Amanda says that DeSantis has said he has no interest in running, but,
He would be answering questions differently too,
so
and
too.
responding to what Trump is doing differently if that were the case.
Yeah, Camille and I have been in politics for a long time. I've been doing this for like 15 years. We're no spring chickens, and she's a professional at it. You can tell from a politician's language when they're going to run, because they just speak differently, right? The way that they say certain things, like the real pros anyway, they got to know. Now, Nikki Haley is getting into the race, and it's kind of like, how do you feel about Nikki Haley? Because our friend, what's our friend who's like super Jewish, the big converted? Cassie Dillon. You know Cassie?
Oh, yes.
Cassie and I are friends. We're cool, but she loves Nikki Haley, and I'm just like,
She was at the Grammys.
yeah. Did
by
you
the
see
way.
that?
I saw
Yeah.
that with her little Jewish
Little
dad.
Jewish purse, yeah.
Sorry.
No, she was doing that because she wanted to trigger the liberals and stuff, because apparently like people like to boycott. She was saying that they like to boycott the Grammys or something like that, but
So dumb.
maybe it's dumb. It's like, who cares? But Cassie is really nice and cool. I like Cassie a lot. She's smart. But she's just, what it is that I think Nikki Haley is big time like pro-Israel, so that's kind of like, because that's her issue. Cassie is Israel.
I'd like for somebody to be big time pro America.
Listen, I like Israel, but America first, but Israel second.
You won't very well. Okay, I'm like.
Could you at least say that? America first, Israel second. How's that?
Okay.
I mean,
we can quit giving the
you
money
can say
now. I'm okay with
third.
that.
Yeah, no,
I don't really have a second, third, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, whatever.
So here's the thing. I agree. Nobody should be getting our tax dollars, least of all like Saudi Arabia and a bunch of other like rogue nations,
yes.
right? But if you're going to cut off funding and you had to choose, I'd probably cut it off from Israel last, just because everybody is trying to kill them, So I would say that I don't agree with funding Israel, but there are a lot of things our government spends money on that I'm outraged by, and that's one of the lesser things that I'm outraged by, just because again, it's kind of like when you've got a buddy who's got your back, which not to Israel has spied on us and had things, there's been a little bit of chicanery, USS Liberty, but when you've got a buddy who's got your back, it's not a bad idea to toss them a magazine every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I would lend you a magazine.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, if you needed a 30-round mag,
Appreciate that.
30-round, I'd give you a whole drum, ma'am, 100-round drum if you wanted it
The
on your
whole
AR-15.
9 yards. Oh my gosh! By the way, totally off topic, but
Let's
I
hear it.
heard I don't remember what it's called, but where the phrase "the whole 9 yards" come from, and it's from the ammo, the whatever you call it. In Vietnam or something.
What are you talking about?
I have to send this to you now because
9 yards of what, like 50 millimeter, something like that.
it was 9 yards long, whatever it was, because that's not. I found it fascinating anyway.
Somebody hook us up with letting us know about the whole 9 yards. If somebody in the chat can let us know. I've got to go get Daniella. She's waiting for us outside in the cold. Actually, she's not here. But she is cold. She's up there. She's like in Seattle, Washington.
Ooh.
I know. Not very nice. So I'm gonna go get Daniella, and I'm going to get her on Zoom. The whole commercial break isn't going to play out. We'll probably come back a little bit early. So just stick around for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. I'll get Daniella, and we'll talk about China versus the U.S. on the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
Good morning to the Cantina crew. This is Elon Musk, the CEO of Twitter. And I just want to say thank you for watching the Wake Up America show. I've decided that Austin Peterson will be the new CEO of Twitter.com, effective immediately. First thing to do, though, is I've got to go and blast off into space.
If there was wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive. And if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state, reject the Antichrist! Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins!
Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. We're still joined in studio by our good friend, Camellia Peterson. Give her a round of applause. Thanks for putting up with me, CJ.
Oh, it's always fun.
We haven't gotten to the Leonardo DiCaprio dating a 19-year-old subject yet.
No,
I need to.
He asked me, like, what are you guys going to talk about, tomorrow or whatever it was? And I was like, I don't know. We'll probably have a plan and it'll go completely off the rails. But
Good. Well, that's what we like. We like things to be a little anarchic here over on the Wake Up America show. With that being said, let's bring in another libertarian lady. She is Daniella Pentsak, Turning Point USA Field Coordinator, joining us on the program now. Good morning, Daniella. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. We were talking a little earlier about the frigid Northwest. How's the weather up there? Was it outside of Seattle, Washington? You don't have to give us your exact location.
No
I
doxing.
live a little. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. That's okay. I actually live a little bit north of Seattle, so I'm actually pretty close to the Canadian border, and it gets pretty cold. We had a freeze like last week. It was snowing, and now it's raining again. It's the weather is pretty unpredictable. It was just sunny yesterday, but I do got to say it gets pretty cold up here, unfortunately.
It's pretty darn cold up there for sure. It's cold here in mid-Missouri, and it's kind of rainy though, but at least no snow. Daniela, we're glad to have you on the program today. You've been doing great reports for us on the Wake Up America show. It's certainly been great to hear all the positive feedback. Everybody give her a round of applause over in the chat. And if you like having Daniela on the program, click that like button on the stream so more people can hear her great reporting. You came to me with this story about China, US, and the dual loyalty it appears that Hollywood has, but you had a Simpsons quote or something that you wanted to reference for us. What was that?
Yeah, I did want to talk about this Simpsons episode that was recently banned in Hong Kong by Disney. I think I can safely say that The Simpsons has officially become the Simps because they have simped for China. This episode titled One Angry Lisa was banned in Hong Kong because it had just a 5-second clip of uh, a man talking about the many wonders of China on a television screen, and Marge Simpson is watching it. And he says the following quote. Again, I will reiterate, it's just 5 seconds, but I'm going to quote it here so people at home can judge for themselves how bad it is. But he states, quote, Bitcoin mines and forced labor camps where children make smartphones. That is the quote that he says, and that was enough to ban the episode off the air in Hong Kong. Now, I got to say, I can't understand why a company like Disney would do this. China is one of their top consumers globally, so it makes sense to me. But I also have to say, like, this is just basic Simpson humor. And I do want to ask Disney or the people at home also, why is it that back here at home, we are forced to listen to Disney's sanctimonious concern trolling for the many underprivileged classes. Meanwhile, when there's a foreign underprivileged classes are being referenced in something like a Simpsons episode, and that gets immediately taken off the air. But every June we have to, look at the Rainbow Brigade come out, or even just recently. Even just recently, we had like those Proud Family episodes talking about essentially critical race theory to children, and that's okay as well. So obviously, Americans are much more tolerant of certain media, and that's why Disney can get away with this. And hey, that's just the face of capitalism to a degree. I understand why they're, trying to appease stakeholders back here at home in a certain way, and different countries in a different way. But this is just one of the many glaring examples of Disney's hypocrisy. But yes, there is a dual relationship between China and the US when it comes to Hollywood, and they just pick and choose, what stakeholders they appease.
Saw a really good meme the other day that and I thought I had saved it, but I guess I didn't. And it said one thing that we've learned from Minecraft is that it was a mistake to get rid of child labor because the children yearn for the mines.
Also think about that.
They're very industrious.
Yeah, very industrious kids. They'll spend hours and hours. Child labor laws are killing this country, of course, as the great Ron Swanson said. If you're just tuning in to the Wake Up America show with Austin Peterson, we're glad to have you here. We're joined now by my good friend Camelia Peterson, who's joining us in studio. We are not related, for the love of God. My last name is spelled S-E-N. Her last name is spelled S-O-N. And we're also joined live on camera. And God, it's freaking god-awful early out there in Seattle, Washington-ish. Our friend Daniella Pentsak, who is a Turning Point USA field coordinator. We're talking about dual loyalties. I mean, this has happened before. This isn't like some isolated incident where China has stepped in and flexed their muscle for American art. This has happened, I think, with what was that example of that movie I gave you yesterday? It happened with Red Dawn, and there have been other examples, right, Daniela?
Yes, there have been many different examples. You have the Red Dawn movie, you have Top Gun Maverick that was also taken off the air in China. Lightyear, where it had that lesbian kiss, that was also taken off the air and banned. You have Spider-Man No Way Home, it was taken off because it had referenced the Statue of Liberty. There was just a scene of that. So yes, there are many examples of this. Even just Simpsons alone as well. I looked up I went under to a rabbit hole for a list of Simpson episodes that were banned just worldwide. But in China, this is not the first time. In 2021, Disney pulled another Simpson episode titled "Goo Goo Gai Pan" because it just referenced the Tiananmen Square massacre. So again, these are just like 5-second clips, and China's pretty well known for banning films, either permanently or temporarily, because it can reference anything from like depictions of the West. Like I said, Top Gun, it had just the Statue of Liberty. Oh, I'm sorry, the Spider-Man movie, it just had the Statue of Liberty. So, or if it also makes fun of Chinese culture, the Chinese government, it also is taken off the air for that reason as well.
It's fascinating that these companies are so woke. Like she said, like the Rainbow Brigade comes out in full force in June, but then if they show a gay kiss on in a movie like Lightyear, then China takes it down, and they will comply with homophobic demands from foreign powers, because it's all about the money, isn't it, Daniela? They don't really care about these causes. They don't give it about LGBT rights. They care about the Benjamins.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, like I said, this is the face of capitalism to a degree. So I'm not blaming Disney 100% for this, but at the same time, it just gets a little tiring when we are forced to have to like accept these wokenomics here at home, almost to the point where like I think people can see through it and they're getting ultimately annoyed by what's happening. But like internationally, like I said, if even just like a lesbian kiss is aired just for a couple seconds, it gets taken off immediately off the air in international countries.
So I guess that's the question, is if they're doing this for economic reasons with China, why are they doing all the, I mean, is there gain to be had from, going woke in the US? I mean, what do they stand to gain?
There must be a financial incentive here in the US, I guess. I mean, to the extent they think that the American consumer is headed that way. That must be right, Danielle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, Americans, like I said, they're largely tolerant. Here in the West, we are tolerant of all these different ideals, and that's why they can get away with it. I'm not going to argue that there's this like conspiracy theory where they're trying to change the cultural narrative. However, I can kind of see the argument for that as well. But I will say that they are just getting away with it because people here in America, let's be honest, we have these left wingers, these liberals, they just eat that stuff up. They think it's really cool, and they think it's just representative of what's happening in the West today. And so Disney and other large, Hollywood type of businesses, they're trying to gain from that and monopolize on that here at home on the domestic front. But internationally, it doesn't, especially in authoritarian governments like China, that doesn't go, and they're just trying to make a quick buck here.
Yeah, no kidding. Boy, this is really great reporting. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, I'm Austin Peterson. I'm joined in studio by my good friend Camelia Peterson, who's here with me, and joining us live on camera all the way from the state of Washington is our good friend Daniella Pentsak. Daniela is talking to us a little bit about China and the United States and what appears to be the dual loyalty that many in Hollywood have between the two superpowers.
Do they still ban Winnie the Pooh?
That is a good question. I guess you can't do anything. Oh, you want to know what's funny? Is so I've been using artificial intelligence to make a lot of my pictures for the videos that I've been producing these days. You can't make President Xi as Winnie the Pooh on the artificial intelligence. Maybe that's the next story, Daniela, that we need to have you cover, is the sort of left-wing bias of all of this new artificial intelligence that's coming out. Because yeah, you know me. I've already got the brain chip. I've plugged into the matrix. I might have taken the red pill, but at the end of the day, like, I'm part human, part cyborg at this point. I'm always on my phone and I'm using Chat GPT and all these new tools. But here's the thing: almost half of the content that I ask it to produce it won't reproduce because
Yeah.
it says this is hate speech, this is hateful, or I actually have to tell the artificial intelligence, I kid you not, Daniela, I have to tell the chat GPT that I'm a teacher, I'm not trying to promote National Socialism, I'm just trying to explain what it is to people so they know what it is. And and it will spend half of the video of the script that it creates saying, this is a discredited ideology, no one believes it, it's terrible, make sure you tell people it's bad. And it's kind of like, damn, this is, the robots, when they take over, the AI is woke, unfortunately. Daniela, is there anything else about this story? And you know what, honestly, Daniela, I'd like to get your take on this from an opinion perspective. If if we believe in capitalism and free markets, how do we fight wokenomics, right? Does the government need to step in and regulate, or how do we sort of, protect our culture from incursions by the communist Chinese? I mean, because we can't even protect our airspace. How the hell are we going to protect our culture?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Like I said, support capitalism. I don't think the government should really get involved in what's happening here necessarily. However, I do see this concerning trend, Western media kowtowing to, these alternative regimes and all these other governments. So that is concerning to me. I don't have the solution for that, unfortunately, right now. However, I will say that I think here in America, we need to support media that we really believe in and that what we care for. I frankly do not like Disney myself. I actually never have, surprisingly. I know Disney has a lot of fans, but especially lately, I can't stomach it really much anymore. But I'm just an average consumer, and I think all average consumers can take a stake in the game here. And if you don't want to support Disney's wokenomics or their messaging or any other large Hollywood conglomerates messaging, then you just shouldn't consume it.
Yeah, I like that. There you go.
Well, and she's right. And this goes back to what we were talking about, was it yesterday and or maybe the day before, whenever we're talking about how the right is just behind on in the arts and messaging. And we consume what's put out and we support it with our money and live by the sword, die by the sword. But if we're going to live by capitalism, we need people to step up and start creating good, content.
Yeah, our friend over on the live stream, Kate Nicole, says we need to make an ANCAP AI. I like your idea. We need a libertarian artificial intelligence to fight it. It's a great idea. And we are, in being an arts and culture, it is a little bit, weird because we hang in conservative circles, right? But you need some weirdos in there, right? You need some goofs, you need some madcaps, you need some zaniness, you need some silliness, and because that's how you create art, right? You have to have that kind of like that. It's a more liberal mindset in order to create in order to create good conservative art. We need to have a more liberal mindset.
Fine line between genius and madness.
That's what it is. Daniela, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners before we let you go today? Great reporting, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I did want to say that, like your guest said there, competition is really what will benefit the American public here, and I just globally, competition. Conservatives really need to step up and start making a little bit more creative media. They've never really, well, in the past I would say they have, but at least currently, conservative media isn't top notch, and I think we could make major improvements there for sure.
I'm with you. Hey, Daniela, fantastic reporting. Isn't she awesome? Give her a round of applause. Daniela, do you want to tell people where they can follow you or, and find out more about your reporting? I know you're making some TikToks these days. I've been awesome. There's been some really good ones. Where would you like people to follow you?
Yeah, the TikToks are angering a lot of people on there as well.
Well, they're good then.
But yeah, yeah, you can just follow. Well, I have an Instagram. It's called official Daniella Pentsak. You can follow me on there, and on TikTok, it's the same name, officially Daniella Pentsak. You can follow me on those two platforms. That's where I post the most.
There you go. That's Daniella Pentsak. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Daniela. That was fantastic. Give her a round of applause. Absolutely terrific reporting as usual. And she's getting up way early for this. I mean, because
Like 2 hours ahead of us?
Yeah, she's 2 hours behind us.
Or behind us, yeah.
Right. So it's like they said it's 6:46 up there in Seattle, Washington. So let's give her a round of applause for sure. Over on the live stream chat, Robbie Thurman just tossed $10 in the tip jar for Calvin for Save Our Calvin. We appreciate that.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Robbie. He says, when the machines take over, we can defeat the Terminators by using the wrong pronouns. Very funny, Robbie. Very funny. I love it. I love it. Very good. You can text the show today at 573-319-1586. And somebody did just that. Actually, somebody asked, somebody says, for future reference, is your nickname Augie, or a different spelling? Do you know how I spell Augie?
Yeah.
Spell it.
Augggie, I believe.
No, boo.
It's Y?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Y.
okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
a Y. So there's three ways to do Augie. You can do Auggie, you can do Augie, or you can do Auggy. So I'm an Auggy Augie.
Okay.
And you know why it's Augie, right?
I knew it one time. I've forgotten.
Augustine.
Oh,
right?
that's
So
right. Yes.
yeah, so there's 2 for 2. Fail,
Sorry.
fail. But yeah, Augie is my nickname because of St. Augustine is where the name Austin comes from. Let's see. Somebody said, that same person was talking about those the puffery, the words, and they asked the question: is embiggen a cromulent usage?
Embiggen?
Embiggen, like I'm getting embiggened in my pants. When I think about Leonardo DiCaprio and 13-year-old girlfriends. Oh my god. Oh god. I know that the live stream right now is just like
Is embiggen a real word?
I think so. It is.
So like when she was really little, Felicity used to coin the word big a large. Like you big a large it. I like that. You want to make something bigger, you big a large it.
You big a large it. I kind of like that. I guess it is. I'm looking at the dictionary. It says it's a humorous. Okay, so it may not be like official, but it does come from. It just says Oxford Languages here. Embiggen, humorous, enlarge. Embiggen. You need to. Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to embiggen your vocabulary. So embiggen.
I don't like it. Sorry.
I don't like it either. What the hell is cromulent? Hold on now.
Now I have heard that and I cannot remember what it means.
I think of like Cromwell, the first Republican experiment in Britain. Cromulent. Let's make sure. Yeah, acceptable or adequate.
Okay.
The continental breakfast was perfectly cromulent. Oh,
So you know
yes.
how there's some words that sound like what they mean? This is irrational. I don't know how to explain this, but like cromulent does not sound average.
What do you mean?
I don't.
Cromulent.
Sounds pretentious. It doesn't
Yes, it
sound
does.
average.
It sounds like puffery. Yes, if you will. All right, so let's pull a Joe Biden here for a second.
Oh God.
We've only got 10 minutes left on the show, and
we can do it 2.
We can do it. Can we do it in 2? That's what she said. Oh, she said.
Wait a minute. I thought that's what he said.
Well, because that's what she said because she wanted to get it to be over with. All right. I like the way you work it. No diggity. I'm going to back it up. All right, Camelia, I'm already working it. Look how red she is already. I wish I could zoom.
Thank you.
One of these days, the Wake Up America show is gonna be so big and so huge. I'm gonna have Zoom cameras, and there's gonna be like a Camelia cam.
Oh God.
And it'll be zoom, and it'll be funny because you'll be able to zoom in on her lipstick and then go over to her mouth, and it will be the same color. Her face will be the same color as her lipstick. So if you want to help make that happen, then throw some money in the tip jar today. We appreciate it. Although all the money this week goes to support Save Our Calvin, because poor little Calvin's back legs are paralyzed. All right, so you can do it in 2 minutes. All right, make your case for why, yes or no. Leonardo DiCaprio, 48-year-old man, nice, young, healthy 48-year-old with a nubile. Speaking of good words, choice piece of young meat.
I was waiting for it.
Now, here's the thing. Apparently, he's not dating her, but who knows if those rumors are true? We don't know what the rumors are true. But I think that this is coming from older ladies who are jealous of the competition from the younger ladies because the older ladies are embittered and they want to date men of their age group, and the men of their age group don't want them. And so they are old and they are embittered and they are acidic. Was that acerbic?
That was acerbic. It's also a good word.
Yes.
So my really hot take is, I don't.
Amelia,
Here's the thing. So Leonardo DiCaprio can date however young he wants
Is
legally.
it predatory?
No, I don't think it's
I think that
predatory.
it's the 19-year-olds that are predatory.
Well, probably. I mean, because for real. So here's what I'm saying. You know that like I am a little weird, and I don't think that Leonardo DiCaprio is all that. I also don't think Brad Pitt, Patrick Swayze. I mean, like a whole litany of Hollywood stars are really all that.
You said,
So I think that
you did have one Hollywood star that you said that
oh
got you. Who was it?
yeah, I do. Well, and there's probably some others I don't remember names
Who?
of, but Benedict Cumberbatch, I kind of like him, but
Benedict Humperdinck.
whatever.
Benedict
Shut up.
Humperdinck. She likes the
But
awkward looking guys. She like they're awkward. See, so like there are so many men that are like trying to like get with Camellia.
they're not.
Yes, they are. And here's the thing: they just don't understand the kind of man that she's going for. So I mean, if you're an awkward nerdy guy and you use words like acerbic, right, or if you are capable of stringing more than 3 words together, then Camellia is probably right up your alley. So nerds unite. Big in yourselves.
Oh God. Leo, either has a whole boatload of charm, or it's the money, or something, or maybe
Fame is intoxicating.
maybe he's paying them because he wants to maintain that image.
BS. No.
Probably not.
Fail.
There's enough empty-headed models out there that
I don't think they're empty-headed. I think they're smart. Like,
well,
the thing is,
true.
yeah, because
Devious.
well, perhaps, because the thing is, because here's the thing, and again, this is another point here. We infantilize girls, right? So when they're of a certain age, we infantilize them, and the reason we do this is you can see in the double standard when you have like a teacher who sleeps with a student. If it's a female teacher sleeping with a young man, it's nice, right? That's good, right? So we don't infantilize young men. But if it's a girl of the same age and a teacher sleeps with the young girl, then it's, oh my God, it's a pedophile. They're terrible. It's awful. It's the double standard, right?
Right.
So it's that same double standard where if it's a man and he's a younger girl, even if she's 19 or whatever, she's an adult, we don't treat girls like adults, which is fascinating because we've been told ever since we were kids, well, girls mature faster than boys. Is this another case of women wanting to have their cake and eat it too, Camellia?
I don't know, maybe, but when we say we shouldn't infantilize women, but how many times have I heard men now, guys, talk about how that it's just like it's not worth dating women under 25 because they're just like children.
Now Gertius Maximus, he's on the chivalry train here. He's Captain Save-A-Ho. He says, well, yeah, because women are to be protected. Do you need to be protected, Camellia?
I'm making it. I'm not going to say I don't like it for sure, and I think there are definitely.
So, are you a
some
girl
benefits.
boss, or do you need to be protected?
Hell no.
But I mean, but again, when it comes to like women being protected, it's always they want to take men's jobs, they want to take our spots in academia, they want to take our spot on the corporate board. But then when the house fire comes, the girl bosses like to twist their hair up into the pigtails and say, save me, I'm just a girl. Oh, the Titanic is going down, women and children first. So I mean, it's my point that I've been trying to make this week is that whether it's progressive feminism or right-wing conservatism, they both agree the disposable male.
Sure.
Men are disposable. This attitude of we need to protect women is to accept implicitly the idea that men are expendable. And again, the right-wing conservative attitude, send your men off to die in war, protect the women at home on the home front, women and children first, men are expendable. And then on the progressive feminist side of things, we don't care that you have worked your life. We don't care that you have studied as hard as you can. We're going to give this opportunity and this scholarship to a girl because frankly, we believe men are expendable. And that's one of those things that Andrew Tate has talked about men having no value. Like
Right.
Women are born with an intrinsic value, whereas men are born with a value of 0, and all of our value is earned, which is why I believe that 19-year-old girls who date Leonardo DiCaprio are the predators because DiCaprio had to earn everything that he was given. Everything that Leonardo DiCaprio had was earned. The 19-year-olds didn't have to do anything. They just had to look pretty, right? So I'm trying to turn these gender roles and assumptions that people make on their heads because I think that it comes when we talk about protecting, when we're actually having a conversation about protecting young boys and men in our society, these are the uncomfortable truths that I think people are unwilling to discuss or unwilling to face. It isn't until we face down these double standards and look at them with a jaundiced eye, that we will actually achieve something towards what we might consider to be true equality. Or if we say women need to be protected and they're not equal, no girl boss. Don't compete with me for a job.
Girl boss is so cringe. Yeah.
Don't come into the workplace, ladies, and tell me girl boss and progressive feminism, and then say when the Titanic goes down, women and children first.
Sure.
Right. You can't have it both ways, because they've got it both ways in society, and I think it's time, ladies, your reign has come to an end.
Well, we have a word for those 19-year-olds dating Leo, right?
What?
Gold diggers.
Gold diggers. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Yeah, she's a gold digger way over town that digs on me. All right, it's time to go, Camellia.
Oh,
it's been fun.
It has been fun.
It was awesome. Did you enjoy the giveaway today? That was fun, wasn't it? I thought that was a good time. And actually, you know what I saw happen? Apparently, somebody else wanted it bad enough that they bought it, and they bought a Thomas. Yeah, it is an awesome LED George Washington light up mouse pad. It goes across your big desk. It's big. And he also bought a Thomas Jefferson, and I think did you see this new shirt that I have, the AP for Liberty shop, of the cat that says, if mess with him,
meow meow, you get the peow peow. That's great.
Mess with the meow meow, you get the peow peow. Head over to apforlibertyshop.com today. If you aren't into getting a mouse pad, or you're like Amanda and you don't have a mouse, I put the awesome George Washington design on a hoodie, which is really cool. And I also put it on a cell phone case, and the cell phone case has a little holder for your credit cards. Really high quality cases. All of the merchandise that you get at apforlibertyshop.com is super high quality, and I produce all of the designs except for the ones my wife does. Myself, me, and Stephanie work together to make all those awesome designs for you. So check it out. All the money that we earn this week goes into our fund to save Calvin. Tomorrow's Friday. God, can you imagine? This week has flown by. I don't know about you.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you doing this week? What are you doing here in Jefferson City?
Oh, Lord. Politics now. I'm going to go over to the Capitol after this, visit with some senators, and then go down to the Boot Heel tonight and visit with some real people. No, they're all real people.
They're all
anyway,
real people,
and State Lincoln Days are going on this weekend. It's,
right.
politics as usual.
Exactly. Well, you all have a wonderful day. Thanks, Camellia, for coming in on the show today.
Pleasure.
Give her a round of applause. Today was a fun show today. And we got to even embarrass her a little bit at the very end, which was good. All right. Thanks so much. If you enjoyed the Wake Up America show, make sure that you click like on that stream before you leave. Go to apforlibertyshop.com. Check out all the new items. We put new merchandise on the shop every single day. So just scroll through all the items. And if you see something you like, give it a buy. Help to go restore my little paralyzed puppy back to perfect health. Hopefully we can do it. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Friday. It'll be Family Friday, and we'll have another Peterson in the house. Just I don't know when. My lovely wife. We'll see you tomorrow on the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today. Fire.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com. With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.